We talked to Coach Holtman yesterday. He said Caleb is back. I wonder how that impacts you guys both on the court and in the locker room when you get a guy back after you've had some tough times without him.
Yeah, it's always nice just to have one of your teammates, one of the guys you're really close to, being able to play with you out there. And, he's had his ups and downs as we have, this year, and just exciting for him to come back.
Kyle, what do you think?
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's exciting. I know we talked a little last week about how big of a piece he is, when you're missing something like that. We're all really glad to have him back, and it's good.
To play devil's advocate, there could be resentment when you have a guy who gets suspended at that time of the season and you guys struggle without him. How have you guys emotionally, handled that, and are there things that you guys talk about as a team to make sure you're all on the same page?
Yeah, I think we're already on the same page. When things like that happen, you can't really, the way how fast the season goes, you can't really, consume yourself around that. You just have to kind of push forward and try to make adjustments with him being out, and then with him being back, there'll definitely be, adjustments and change, but I think it's for the good just to have all of our pieces back.
Kyle, as you said, Caleb obviously makes a big impact, but is he a big enough impact for you guys to feel confident making a run here? Obviously, we saw the game against Iowa and what you guys were able to do, and then he comes out of the lineup. Does his impact give you more confidence in terms of a tournament run, or can he be the difference, I guess?
Yeah, for sure. I think it all really just depends on, how we're preparing and how we come out every night. Because, like I said last week, we're at our best, when we're fully focused. We prep really well. And, we have the talent. We just got to do that with every game. So having him back is definitely huge. And, yeah, for sure.
CJ, it looked like twice during the Wisconsin game. I think one time he got blocked, and then when Hack hit you with that screen at midcourt, it looked like he hit you right on the shoulder. I just didn't know, did that have any lingering impact for you? I know you've been dealing with the soreness for a couple of weeks now. Did that make it any worse, or is it still kind of the same as it's been the last few weeks?
I'm not sure if it made it any worse at this point. I feel like it's just going to be what it is. It's hurt, but we're at this point in the season to where, especially with it being my last go-round, I just have to push through it and keep continuing to fight, and my teammates do a good job just picking me up, and just being able to be with them out there on the floor is more important than my arm hurting.
It's your offhand, right? It's not your. But does it impact your shooting at all?
I feel it a little bit, but once you kind of get going in the flow of the game, you kind of just lose yourself. So you don't really feel it until it really gets hit.
CJ, can you put your finger on why every game with you in Indiana of recent vintage seems to be such a battle?
Just two teams that compete at a high level. There's a really tough place to play, and then when they came here last year, it was a good environment. So it's just two teams who just compete. We're pretty evenly matched in the sense of the way we run our offense and defense. So
is it to the point where you could describe them as a rival?
I'm not sure if they're a rival or not, but I just know both teams are highly competitive, and we want to win as bad. And usually, when we see them, it's really a big stretch for us, and when they see us, it's a big stretch for them. So they have something to prove, and so do we.
Obviously, you guys want to make a run in the tournament and prolong your season. Does this feel like a little bit of a play-in game? You guys are both sort of right on the tournament bubble, and I just wonder if that's something you guys feel going into this, adding a little bit more to the game.
Yeah, with every game, I think it's important. Each and every game, the next game, you want to go in and you want to play to win. But I think for sure it's a game that we need to go in a little bit more focused and ready to get this win, because I think it's important because we're on the bubble, so to get in.
How do they look different since you guys last saw them? They've obviously ended the season pretty strong. What have you seen watching them getting ready to face them again?
Well, we just know that even though that they had a rough stretch here in the conference season, that most of their games they were one or two possessions away. So we know it's not going to be an easy game, and despite their record, it doesn't show what type of team they are. They're a really good team, and they'll be ready to play. So we have to be ready to match their intensity defensively, and just compete the whole game.
CJ, I know that you guys and Chris Holtman has been saying the entire last couple months, the same thing that Kyle said, that you guys just take it game by game and whatnot, but you know that this might be a playing game, and if you win this and you know the stakes, when you look at this game specifically and what you've done against Indiana, just the same sort of question to Kyle. Do you look at it differently, knowing that this could be the one that gets you there?
I guess you could say that. We just know that how important this game is for us. We are aware of that. And this is kind of why you come to, universities and this conference, just to be able to put yourself in the best position to make a run in the NCAA tournament. And we have our goal right in front of us. I guess you could say we're right there. And when you accomplish that, that's kind of what you live for.
When you face Indiana the first time, was there anything that surprised you about them? What did you learn about them that you didn't know before that game?
Probably just how physical the game was going to be. Their bigs bring a physical edge to the game that you can't always tell what you see on film. So that's probably the biggest thing I've taken from it.
Even though you guys lost to Wisconsin, when you have a second half and a comeback like that, how does that carry over at all into practice, into the next game, as opposed to if you guys would have just lost by 20 in that game? Does it have any carryover?
We always go back and when we're cleaning up and stuff and looking at film, I think there's a lot of good things we could take from that game and in that stretch, especially even the times when we weren't playing as well. There's a lot of good things we can take from that. So it's definitely good seeing that how we played together during that certain stretch, that we can hopefully, carry that on and keep that thing going.
CJ, could you talk about that too?
Yeah, like Kyle said, we could definitely take things from that experience, but I mean, at the end of the day, we still didn't win the game, so but you still can learn your lessons. So it's kind of tough in the sense of how you would describe that as momentum, even though we didn't win. But like he said, we can definitely take the parts of the game where we struggled and learn from those experiences. I also learned from when we were playing well down the stretch.
Is there any bit of a letdown because when you have a comeback like that, but you don't necessarily get over the hump to get the win?
No, no letdown at all. We did win the game at the end of the day, no matter if we won by 20 or, lost in overtime. But, we have to continue to focus on Thursday because at this point, everything that's happened in the regular season's over. We can't control any of that at this point. It's basically a new season for everybody, and everybody starts fresh.
And then, Kyle, how's your leg doing? Like Chris Holman talked about how that's an injury where it's not going to get back to 100% unless you sit out for pretty much a month. Mm-hmm. How's playing with an injury like that?
It's tough just because with soreness sometimes. I try not to focus too much on it. I try not to think about it while I'm playing because I want to, put everything I have out there. And that's what I've been trying to do. We're doing as much rehab as possible day to day, trying to get it stronger, things like that. But, yeah, pretty much until I get some time off, it won't be back to 100%. But, I'm still going to give everything I have.
Do you feel like you're limited at all?
To a point, maybe you could say that, but I'm still just going to give them all, when I go out and play. So everything I have is going to be out there for sure.
When you guys get to this time of year, the win and go home type of time, how do you flip that switch? Because throughout the whole season, you've had a next game. Each game doesn't necessarily matter quite as much because you still play. How does that flip your switch in your mind as a team?
I think that just has to do with the competitiveness of the players on the team and the coaching staffs. And thankfully, we have guys that really compete at a high level and coaching staff that cares so much about, each player. And so when it's like that, I don't think it's a much of a big switch for us personally.
Does the experience you had last year, both of you, and the year before in the Big Ten tournament, does that help when you go to those win or go home type of games, having been in that before at this level?
Yeah, I think for sure when you have experience in anything, it's good when you've been through something before. So, even with me, though, like last year, I didn't play in the tournament. So, but just being there, experiencing it, the prep, seeing what these guys did and what it takes to do that and play in the tournament is always important to have experience from that.
CJ, I didn't want you to dwell on the last game, but did you have film review, or a couple days afterwards, how are you feeling about the shot that you took at the end of regulation in the tie game to shoot the three there?
Definitely at the time, I'm a little disappointed about it for sure. It's a shot that I work on and practice, forever. But kind of got to move on from it. It happened. Players miss shots. It is what it is at this point. I just got to be ready to take the next shot next time that comes.
Do they give you like discretion like that, like the coaching staff, if it's like tie game situation, if you feel the look is good enough, green light to pull the trigger, a shot like that?
Yeah, our coaching staff has unbelievable confidence in me, which gives me confidence as well, and also the rest of my teammates. And so when it comes down to times like that, it just feels normal, and it feels free just because of knowing that I have the confidence from them and my teammates.
Kyle, we asked you about your leg. Is your ankle 100% at this point?
Yeah, it's getting back. A lot of swelling's pretty much gone, and soreness is pretty much gone too. We're gonna keep, strengthening it and doing exercises on it just in case. But yeah, it's getting there.
Is there any part of your body that doesn't hurt at this point?
No, yeah, I'm good. I'll be all right. I'll be all right.
Kyle, you were one of the guys in the court for the last run, right? Mm-hmm. I'm trying to remember the lineup, but after a season when you've had the injuries that we've asked about so many times, but you played, I think, 33 minutes, and what did that feel like for you after the season that you've had? And like CJ said, you obviously come up short, but to battle through what you battled through and to play such an important role in such a crazy run, what did that feel like for you?
I was pretty sore after the game, I can tell you that. But no, it was fun. Anytime the gym can get that loud, and everyone was behind us. The fans got into it. You kind of lose yourself in those games, and when you're focused like that, it's just fun. You're doing what you love, and yeah, it's a good run.
You're getting contributions from Musa, who hasn't played a lot lately, and Justin comes in late and has some big buckets. What is that like when it's kind of being spread around like that?
Oh, it's huge. Having depth like we do, and having guys that can come in and contribute on a nightly basis is important. You're going to need that. You can't always focus on a couple guys, even though you might need to. So it's good to have the people we do that can come in and contribute.